Hello everybody, Pwned here again with another video review, and today, as you can see, I have the Takara Masterpiece Grimlock. Now this is a figure I've been wanting for a very, very long time. I'm a huge Grimlock fan from the old G1 cartoons. He was one of my favorite characters, and now I finally have one, and I am so excited. I cannot tell you how much I've been wanting this figure ever since I first saw it. And so here we have the box, and the box is actually pretty big. Yeah, it's a pretty big box. Very nice. Your usual Takara Masterpiece box, all black with the picture on front with him in robot and dinosaur mode. See down here, got MP-8 Grimlock, Cybertron, Dinobot Commander. It's got the 25th anniversary logo from Takara, which celebrating 25 years because this was released in 2009. And like all Takara boxes, you got the side here, not much going on there. Go over to the top. Again, just more pictures of him and some epic posing. Other side, nothing there. The back, see that in a second. Bottom, all the legal stuff. So back to the back here. So here we see Grimlock in robot mode, looking very awesome, very badass. Nice little scene of him here, showing off. And then there's a bunch of pictures here of the various gimmicks that he has in the figure. He does have a light up gimmick for his sword and his gun. He's also got a gimmick where he can change the color of his visor, as well as his eyes in dinosaur mode. I'm going to focus. It also comes with quite a few accessories. It comes with an apron, bow tie, a tray of drinks. That was in an episode in G1. I can't remember which one, but it was in, I believe it was in season 3. It was, I think it was when Daniel, there's some kind of a function going on, and Grimlock was playing guest service, serving drinks at some diplomat function, and it was just kind of silly and goofy. So yeah, so here's the figure. So let's open it up and see what we have. Okay, so here we have Grimlock opened up and in robot mode. And I gotta say, I really love this figure. Just the overall look and design of him. He looks fantastic. He's got a lot of little molded in detail in him all over the place. He's got this really nice color to him, which is very reminiscent of G1. As you can see, he's got a lot of rivets in here, which is really cool because in the cartoon, Grimlock was actually built on Earth by the Autobots. It was mostly done by Ratchet and Wheeljack with the assistance from Chip and Spike. So they're not really from Cybertron, at least from the cartoon standpoint. I do like his origin story that they had for him and the other Dinobots in Fall of Cybertron. And I'm kind of excited to get that figure. I have one on pre-order that I'm waiting on. It won't be out till June, but when I get that one, I'm going to make a review video of that one. But this one right here is absolutely amazing. He does have a few problems. His waist is a little wobbly because of the transformation. So he got a bit of a wobbly waist, so he kind of lists a little over to this way. It kind of bugs me a little bit, but it's not that bad. I can live with it. He does have a few bits of die-cast pieces on him, mostly in the, he's got in the cod piece, also on the shoulders, right here at the shoulder joint, and the toes on the feet around his wrist. These are all die-cast. Very nice. I really like the feet on here, and they kind of show off a little bit more in dinosaur mode, but they're really big, which I really like. Come around to the back, see his head tucked back in here. See bits of the tail and the feet. Just overall, I really dig this figure. He's got quite a bit of articulation. which I can't really kind of show off because I got the camera in one hand, so it's kind of hard to show it off. But he's got ratchet joints here at the knee. He's got ball joints here up at the shoulder. Rotation at the bicep. You do have two double jointed elbows right here. And they do got some nice articulation. Now as for the gimmick, he's got a couple gimmicks in transformation. As you can see, just barely, there's enough light here. He does have the Autobot logo on his chest. And there's a gimmick where when you transform him, it's actually hidden when he's in dinosaur mode. And then it gets revealed when he's in robot mode. Which is it's an okay gimmick. You can't really see it that well because it's covered up by this plastic cover. Even in hand, in person, it's a little bit dark. And I just kind of wish that it showed up a little bit better. But that's okay. And so for the gimmick on his hand, he's got a little button on the back of his shoulder here. And if you press it, it lights up the sword. Which is kind of cool. Nice big glowing sword. I only kind of wish that there was an activation switch to make that thing permanently on, as opposed to just having to press it, which is kind of goofy. Because it'd be nice if it was just like sitting on my desk and then just have this on for however long I wanted to, just so it looks more cool. So the gimmick on the visor, as you can see, I already got him in the red. Nah, let's focus. It's got the red visor on. And he's actually got a little lever on the far back of his head. You can kind of see it there. A little bit of red. And so when you want to change his visor, you just kind of push it down. And as you see, now it's blue. Grimlock. And to switch it back, just pull the lever up. And it's back to red. And so this allows you to have it anywhere you want. So if you want it to be more cartoon accurate, you can switch it over to blue. If you want it to be the original toy accurate, you can put it back on red. I like it on red because it kind of reminds me more of the video games. On the video game, they also had red eyes. And so I'm keeping it like this. So when I get my War for Cybertron, or Fall of Cybertron, I'm sorry, Grimlock, I'm going to have these guys next to each other. Because, Grimlock, one of my favorite characters. He's so awesome. For size comparison, for a Masterpiece figure, he's a bit on the small side, and I started scaling them down a little bit at one point. I don't know when, but Grimlock was definitely one of the ones that I wanted to scale down. And just to show you the difference, here I have Masterpiece Optimus Prime, the MP-8. This is actually the Hasbro version, you can tell because he's got the battle scarring on him. But I did get the... Whoa! And he fell. But I did get the extended smokestacks. These are die cast. I got them from a third party on eBay some years ago. You can't find them anymore, I don't think. But so here he is. They can stand. Next to Optimus Prime, and you can see he's kind of short. A little bit short next to the original MP-8. That's because, this guy's about 12 inches tall. Maybe a bit taller. I don't know. He's around there. This guy ranges around, at least on the box it says about 10 inches. Well, it doesn't say that on the box, but that's what I read somewhere. But here's another comparison. Here's my leader class movie Optimus Prime from the very first one that came out way back in 2007. And he's the mixed Optimus Prime, and they're about the same height. So these two scale alright. Although if you're familiar with the cartoon in the early days, all the Dinobots were much, much taller than the Autobots. And I think Grimlock was just a little bit taller than Optimus Prime. But the scaling's not too bad. I still really love this figure. There's a ton of detail in this guy. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the transformation, mostly because I only have one hand, and it's kind of hard to do that with a camera one-handed. So, and actually, I do have issues transforming his legs into the tail. It's a bit tricky. But if you want to catch someone, or an instruction video on how to transform this guy, I recommend you find another video somewhere else, someone who will transform this for you. So let's get this guy transformed and see how he looks in dinosaur mode. Okay, so here we have Grimlock in dinosaur mode, and I absolutely love this thing. This thing looks amazing. And there's my creaky chair. Very, very G1-esque. Fantastic representation. Good size figure. He's got a nice ratchet joint at the head. I mean, I really just dig how this guy looks. Both in robot and dinosaur mode. He looks awesome. Yeah, creaky chair. So he's got a articulation in the tail. The tip over here can move. That's something the G1 toy couldn't do. I did have a problem with this tail is that it doesn't quite close all the way. See, there's a bit of a gap. And the problem is if I try to snap it all the way shut, the tip comes undone. I don't know if this is a problem with just my figure or if other ones do this, but that's kind of a little bit annoying. And then when I snap that back together, it pulls the tail apart again. Man, that's a little bit of a problem, but I can live with it. It's not that bad. The tail is articulate. You can actually waggle the tail. It actually does a gimmick where you can actually move the head. That's kind of cool. But, I mean, it's one of those things that it doesn't really need that. So, I don't know. I would have preferred if, his head could stay in any turn position, but he just kind of keeps going back to his original position. But, again, the detailing on him is fantastic. Again, you can see all the rivets, all the fine details that are just molded into the figure. You can see those really big claws on the toe, on the feet. Huge. On the original toy, they're a lot smaller, and this one's just much, much bigger. Arms are very nice. They're articulated at the elbow. They get a nice ball joint, so you can get some really good posability out of them. Even the claws here are also articulated. You can move them. They're a bit sharp at the tip, but they are articulated. And when you first get them, I mean, it's going to be a little bit stiff. But overall, I really like it. His teeth in his jaw are all chrome, which is very nice. It's got a very nice sharp looking to him. It's got his flamethrower in his mouth, which is really cool. Nice little add-on. And he does have the gimmick again with the eyes. You can open it up. And he's falling backwards. He's a bit back heavy because of the tail. So it's a little hard to get him to stand up all the time. So there you can flip the eyes. And there's my refrigerator going. So you can get the nice blue color eyes if you want the cartoon look, or go back to the red eyes, which was more of the original toy look. You can see he's kind of leaning back. Again, he's very back heavy, so getting him to stand up straight is a bit of a problem. So most of the time, if you just want him to be stable, you can kind of want him in the tripod position with his tail down for extra support. And that's how he stands the best, and this is where he's going to be his most stable. So here he is from the front. He's got a nice painted on Autobot logo on his chest. Down to the gold belly, which comes with chest in robot mode. And I really dig this guy. He looks awesome. Another great touch from the G1 is the clear plastic around the neck, along with the gold detail in the neck. Very G1. I always dig when they try to incorporate as much G1 stuff in these toys as possible. Really nice ratcheting in the jaw and the head. So yeah, so this is Grimlock in dinosaur mode, and I think he's fantastic. He's really good looking. And one thing I really do like that they did for this figure is that on the original G1 toy, right here on the bottom of the tail, there would be a big gap where the legs were, because the tail becomes his legs. Here they actually covered it up, which I think was really cool. So he doesn't have a whole lot of gaping holes in him. I mean, you do have the tail. There's a gap there, but that's only because for the tail gimmick. But very nice. And you can see he's got a little bit of slots here, like here. This is for his bow tie, which I'm not going to show off. He's got a little notch up here on his head, and that's for his brain transfer accessory for when Grimlock became super intelligent and created Superion and transferred his intelligence. Oh, no, not Superion, Calculon. I can't remember now. Calcutron, that's what it was. Calcutron. I think. Somebody in the comments is going to say something about it. Go ahead. I can't remember. I didn't really look it up before I started this video. But overall, I really dig how this figure looks. So here we got Grimlock back into robot mode, and just kind of final thoughts on this guy. I really dig how this figure looks. I think he looks awesome. Even with the little problems with him with his tail and his little wobbliness here around the waist. It doesn't really bug me that much. And I didn't really show off the accessories because I just didn't kind of really feel like taking them out of the box or anything, but he's got them all there. And you can see in the original tray here, I mean, it's all there. You got the transfer thing, all the glasses with the serving tray, the apron, and the bow tie. He's got them all there. So you can, kind of recreate some scenes from the cartoon with him. He's got pretty decent posability. His transformation is actually pretty simple. The only real problem that most people probably have is with his tail, the feet, the tail. They're a bit of a pain, but once you kind of figure them out, it's not that hard. It's not that bad. And overall, I think he's a great figure. These things are not too terribly hard to find. The only problem is they're very expensive. I got this guy off eBay. I paid quite a bit of money for him. And there are some sellers on eBay that sell him, depending which version you get, because there are 3 of them, up to anywhere from $300 to $500. So he's a very pricey figure, because I think it's because he's just a very sought after figure, because a lot of people really love Grimlock, and probably a lot of people just like T-Rexes in general. So when you got a Transformer that turns into a T-Rex, I mean, that's just pretty awesome. And I really dug his character. I didn't really like him so much in the later seasons of the show, because they kind of turned him into a comedic character, but I really dug how they did Grimlock in Fall of Cybertron, and like I said, I'm really excited to get that figure, so I look forward to that in several months, if you want to watch that video. So yeah, so here he is, Masterpiece Grimlock. He is a little bit smaller, but again, I dig this figure. I love it. I absolutely love this figure. So, and any Grimlock fans out there who have the money, who really want them, Definitely try to find one, but personally, I wouldn't pay $500 for one of these. 300 is kind of pushing it, but if you can find one and you got the money, go ahead and pick one up. He does have a few issues, but I just really love how he looks overall. So for me, I'm in love with this figure. So, and that's just biased because I like Grimlock. But that's all there is. So until next time, see you guys later.